Today's live stream is going to be kind of serious. Okay, I'm sure we'll get down to having some fun later, but in the beginning, I kind of wanted to talk about a serious topic. We're going to be talking about drinking slash sobriety, but yeah, one of the topics we talk about a lot on this channel is we do a lot of sobriety motivation. And so I thought this would be a really good topic to talk about 10 ways that drinking slash alcohol ruined my life. 10 ways that drinking and alcohol ruined my life. So, we do some of these streams where I'm talking about a topic in the beginning. I might not get to the comments like I normally do in the beginning, but I see y'all. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I see y'all. Hope y'all had a good day. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right to it. And then later when we finish talking about these topics, or maybe I'll talk about one of the 10, and then maybe someone else we can chime in with the comments a little. I don't know. But let's get right to it. The first way. And actually, before I get to it, let me say, when I say it ruined my life, I don't mean that it like totally ruined my life. I love my life now. I have a great life. I feel so blessed to have the life I have. But, alcohol did ruin my life in some ways. It didn't totally ruin it, but it did ruin it in some ways. So I'm not saying that like, woe is me, alcohol ruined my life. No, I'm just saying it did ruin certain aspects of my life. Okay, so let's get to it. Number one, health. And I got my little cheat sheet here. So if you hear paper rustling, it's my little cheat sheet here. So number one is health. Okay. And this is one you really don't think about when you're young. When you're late teens, your 20s, you first start drinking, you first start partying, you don't think about health and how drinking can affect it. Like, you don't think about your health anyway. Okay, when you're young, you think you're going to live forever. You think you're always going to be healthy. You don't think about it. And when it comes to drinking, I feel like the people older than you don't really do a good job of warning you about the health risk. Sometimes they'll talk about some of the other risks, but very few people are ever like, hey, like, you're putting poison in your body. I know I didn't think about it. I know no one really ever talked to me about it. I'll be honest though, if they had, I probably wouldn't have paid any attention, even if they had, but I didn't think about it. I was in my 20s. I'm fine. And even though I realized that, yeah, I was getting hangovers, and the hangovers got worse over the years, and I started blacking out, a couple of times I got alcohol poisoning. A lot of times you just think, oh, this is what comes with drinking, and you don't equate like it could be hurting your body long term. You get a hangover, it's gone in a couple hours. Maybe the more you drink, the longer you go. It takes a day for you to get over it, or 2 days even. But like, once the hangover is gone, the hangover is gone. So a lot of times you just think that the health risks you deal with drinking are short term. Oh, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to have to throw up tomorrow, but I'll be okay. But this isn't true. Like, over the years, you are consistently putting poison in your body. It is not doing well for you. It took me probably 16 years of drinking to really start getting to like the bad health stuff, to get to the place where I was like, oh, like, this is really messing my body up. For a lot of people, it's too late. For a lot of people, when they finally realize, oh, this is a problem, they've done they got liver damage. They've it's got some other stuff going on. So many different things. And a lot of times too, by the time we get to a place where we really like understand, okay, I'm messing my body up with drinking, we're so deep into it that when the doctor says, hey, you need to quit like tomorrow, or you're gonna like kill yourself, a lot of times people can't stop because they're already so deep in it. If it takes you 20 years to like really get to that place where you got liver damage or something else going on, and then the doctor's like, hey, you got to quit, it's hard to stop. And so, unfortunately, we all know people. I've got family members who that happened to, and they ended up basically just drinking themselves to death because they could not stop, and they just done so much damage to their body. Like, short of stopping, there was no way of stopping. Like, they kept drinking, the damage kept happening. Eventually, it was too much. And I know, like, a lot of times when I'm at the doctor, they always ask, do you smoke? Do you drink? I always say, no, I don't drink, because I don't. But sometimes I want to be like, but I used to. because I'm pretty sure some of the things even I deal with now health-wise are a byproduct of the drinking. And I want to say that so, like, you know, sometimes it seems like those of us who got sober, we might have got out unscathed. This is not true. Don't think we got out unscathed. I feel blessed that I got out, you know, and got sober before a lot of the really, really, really bad stuff happens. But I understand and realize that some of the stuff I go through now, even physically, is a byproduct of me drinking for 15, 16, 17 years, every night, party on all the weekends, just drink until I passed out. So health, you know, and this is a major one to contemplate. Like, your health is wealth. Your health is wealth. And if you're doing things to your body every single day that's going to mess up your health and take years off your life, you got to think about it that way, folks. You could be taking years off your life. You don't know. You don't know. We could be literally taking years off our life for every 6 months of drinking we do. Who knows? Who knows? So health is a big one. Health is a big one. And I think it's not talked about enough. It's not talked about enough. We talk about a lot of the other stuff that we're going to get to. We talk about a lot of the other stuff. I got to get my pen out so I can make sure I don't go over the same points twice. We talk about a lot of other stuff when it comes to drinking and why you should quit. But, you know, a lot of people aren't just like, cause it's hurting your body. Because no one wants to say it's poison, but it is poison. So we're putting that out there. All right. So number one was health. Let's talk about number two. Number two, we'll go, drinking and alcohol was ruining my life. Because it was messing me up at work. It was messing me up at work. And I know a lot of people who struggle with alcohol and struggle with drinking have this problem. You know, you're hungover, you can't make it to work, or you make it to work. I know about this one firsthand. You know, I missed my fair share of days hungover, but a lot of days, you know, I got up and went to work anyway, but my performance was way down. I know for me, in the height of like my drinking, I was fortunate enough. I worked for a really good friend of mine. So a lot of time, and he was a drinker too. So a lot of times he just kind of was like, if I made it to work, he was like more sympathetic than mad. If I made it to work, he was happy. Yeah, I heard you over there. And we lived like right next door to each other. A lot of the time I worked for him. So he'd be like, I heard you over there partying. I know you was going to come to work hungover. I'm just glad you made it. You know, everybody doesn't have that luxury. Sometimes you work for bosses who ain't going to take that. You come in there hungover, or you might have a job where you really can't be in there with your mind all, you know, pickled with alcohol from the night before. So, you know, you can lose jobs. You know, even though I didn't lose my job. I do feel like a couple jobs I quit in the past were because I was hungover. Actually, I know there's a couple jobs I quit. I was mad about other stuff, but the reason I quit that day was because I was hungover and I just couldn't take it. But even though I kept my job a lot of times, it messed me up at work. You know, even though I worked for a good friend of mine, there were times we fell out with each other for a while because of my drinking and because I'm missing work. And there was days he had really big jobs and I said I was on my way and then went back to sleep, and just a lot of stuff. Unnecessary stuff. You know, I was always a hard worker, always had a good work ethic. There was just so many times at work that like there was an issue, and it was because I drank the night before. You're always going to have issues at work. But that's the problem with like drinking, is like normal issues in life, your issues will be right around here. Drinking makes them all the way up here. You know, so always been a good worker. Before I started drinking, never really had any problems at work. You're going to have issues every now and then with people and different stuff. But, you know, it was a regular basis. Once every couple of weeks, there was a problem because I was hungover. I didn't come in, or I came in. I didn't work. You know, I skipped a yard because I wanted to go home because I was sick. Like just all this stuff, unnecessary stuff because I was drinking. You know, the 5 hours of drinking the night before messed up 8 to 10 hours of work the next day. Either I didn't get that, you know, I didn't go to work and I missed out on all that money, or I went to work and didn't do a good job. You know, just it's unnecessary BS you put up with when you're drinking. It ruins your life. You know, I know a lot of people who've gotten fired because they were drunk. A lot of people who can't maintain a job because they're drinking on the job. Alcohol drinking can ruin your life. One of the ways it does that is definitely with your job and with work. I know a lot of people own their own business and lost them, had successful, thriving businesses and lost them because they were drinking too much. They were drinking too much. You work for yourself. You know, you can stay home whenever you want to. Drinking too much, staying home because they're hungover, they're sick, getting sick at the job, doing poor quality work. You work for yourself. You do poor quality work. Well, you know, word of mouth is going to get around. You ain't going to be doing much work no more. You don't have to worry about being hungover. You ain't going to have no work to go do. So work is definitely one of the areas I know in my life to, like, you know, alcohol just messed things up unnecessarily. You know, that was a crazy one. That was a crazy one. Let's go on to number 3. Let's get down to number 3. Let's talk about friendships. Let's talk about friendships. When I was a younger man, I was a lot more outgoing, especially when I was drinking. You know, the drinking helped. Let's be honest, the drinking did help me to be more outgoing. But one of the things that happened was I met a lot of people and I had a lot of acquaintances and a lot of friends, and I feel blessed, you know, that was the case. But I would get drunk and end up pissing them off and losing a lot of them. Like, I kept my core friends because they were drinkers too. You know, those were my brothers, those were my sisters. I kept my core group of friends, but a lot of the people who came around and wanted to hang out and possibly could have become core friends, I got drunk and ran them off. And even some of my core friends, we had like some issues, and it always stemmed from being drunk. I would get drunk and do something I wasn't supposed to do. I would get drunk and mess around or try to mess around with somebody's old lady. Like, I would get drunk and cuss somebody out. I would get drunk and get mad at somebody, try to fight them. Like, all these things. You know, I had all these people, you know, who wanted to hang out and be around me, felt great. But then on the flip side, I would run them away. I'd run them off. And so it finally got to the point, and I think I still deal with a little of this now. It got to the point I didn't even want to, like, meet new people because I was scared I would get drunk and run them off. It just got really painful. You know, every time I meet somebody, it's like, yeah, hey. And then like 2 weeks later, somebody's like, why did you say that to her? Why did you say that to him? You know, you're lying in bed hungover, just going over, you know, all the dumb stuff you did the night before. And you're like, oh man, now so-and-so's not going to talk to me anymore. Or you message people, they don't message back. You call them. This is back in the day. So you MySpace them. They don't MySpace back. You see they read it, but they don't message back. You're like, oh, I must have pissed them off. You know, I'm so drunk. I'd be pissed and blacking out. I'd piss people off, wouldn't even know it. People would have to tell me, oh, no, you pissed him off. He ain't home. He ain't your boy no more. You know what I'm saying? So just like, and like I said, I think I deal with the holdover of that even now. I've always been kind of introverted, but I think there is still kind of this wall when it comes to meeting new people, because I still remember how many people I personally, because of my drunk actions, kicked out of my life or made it to where they didn't want to be around me. Unnecessarily. It's crazy. So friendships is and I feel blessed for like all the friends that stayed in my life. The crazy thing is, and I'm still pretty good friends with all my core friends, but when I stopped drinking, it got different. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just, I mean, drinking just, I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm envious of people who never drank, met all their friends sober, and like didn't ever have to deal with all that as a dynamic in their friendship. Didn't have to worry about messing up the friendship because they were drunk. Don't have to worry about losing those friends when they got sober. Like, you know, I look at people who just have friends and they stay friends, you know. Yeah, it's just, I'm low-key jealous sometimes. But blessed to still have the friends I have in my life now. And I've started rekindling some of the older friendships of my core friends and making new friends. And the friends I have now, I made sober, and it's one of those cool, yeah, like I'm not losing them. I'm not losing them because I ain't doing nothing drunk anymore. Let's move on to number 4. The fourth way that drinking/alcohol ruined my life. This one is an extension. This one is an extension of the last one. And it's that next level of friendships, which is relationships. Relationships. And this is a heavy one. This is a heavy one. This is one that, you know, I can talk about all this stuff, but, you know, this is one that sometimes late at night when nobody's around and I'm, you know, not talking with y'all good people on the internet, that it kind of bothers you. Because it was the same way as with the friendships. I would meet a lot of women and they would come in my life. Sometimes they were, we were just friends with benefits, whatever. But sometimes it would seem like it was progressing. It was progressing a little further. And I would get drunk, do something stupid. And they'd be like, hey, I like you, Tim, but like, I can't deal with your behavior. I can't deal with you beating on my door at 2 o'clock in the morning, wanting to see me, telling me how much you love me. We've only been hanging out for like 3 weeks. My kid's trying to sleep, you beating on the door, and then I ask you about it, you don't even remember it. I can't deal with that behavior. So there was so many times like, and you get that good feeling when you feel like you're on the way to maybe a relationship, maybe I found somebody, this could be something, and then you mess it up. You get drunk and mess it up. That happens once, it sucks, it hurts, whatever. 6 months later, happens again. Just keeps happening. And then you can finally get to the point where you're like, I don't think I'm ever going to find anybody because I mess them all up. And that kind of hurts. And then you're like, okay, I guess I better stop drinking, and then you relapse and then you mess up. It just becomes a cycle of just guilt and shame and just like heartbreak. And then, I mean, the top of the biggest moment, I finally found somebody who could put up with me. Long term. We're dating for going into like 5 years. One drunk night, cheated on her. I've talked about this before, but like I ruined that relationship one drunk night. And the crazy thing was I had no plans to mess around, nothing. Like I promise you, I tell y'all, there was no plans to mess around, cheat, do nothing like that. Just one drunk night. That's all it takes. I might do a video called One Drunk Night. Because that's all it takes is one drunk night to totally, we're talking about, my life was ruined by some of these things. All it takes is one drunk night to totally ruin your life. Okay. So that relationship, I told her, I was honest with her. It took me a couple of weeks, but I told her, hey, I'm sorry. I got drunk. I cheated. She was like, that ain't something I can accept. We stopped talking for a while. She broke up with me. We stopped talking for a while. We came back being friends. We're still friends to this day, but like that was the longest and best relationship I've ever had in my life. I'm a 41-year-old man, and I can tell you that's the longest and best relationship I've ever had. And I ruined it one drunk night. So we're like 0 for 10 in relationships. Okay. And pretty much all of them I ruined from drinking. It's not even 10. It's probably like 0 for 6, but pretty much all of them ruined because of my drinking. I mean, not all of them, but most of them. That's a hard stat to like look at. In fact, honestly, I'd never looked at it that way until just now. But that's a hard stat. At 40, at middle-aged, pretty much every real relationship in your life, it's definitely the realest, the best, you ruined drinking. And I think just like how I started to get hesitant about becoming friends with people, the same happened with like relationships. And I got some of that in me now, even though I'm sober now. I've been sober for some years. After you ruin enough relationships and it was you who ruined them, you get a little hesitant getting back in them. You get a little hesitant, even though you realize I was a different person then. But here's the thing too. All those years I was ruining relationships. I wasn't able to learn the proper way to like be in a relationship because I was drunk all the time. So by the time I hit middle age, I'm supposed to have some experience with relationships and kind of know how they work and figure. I don't have all that. I was drunk all the time. I messed all my relationships up. So like if I meet somebody now, it's kind of like I don't know what to do. I'm sober. I don't know. And that's something, that's an L I have to hold. That's a loss I have to hold. Once again, a lot of times it seems like you be like, man, I got out of that drinking thing unscathed. You don't. A lot of this baggage, there's a lot of baggage that comes. And actually, I think this video is very therapeutic for me because I'm getting this out. But there's a lot of baggage that comes with years and years and years of drinking. And a lot of times, even when you get sober, you still have, to work through all that. You still got to work through all that. It's still there. So Yeah, that's one for me. Relationships, and I know a lot of other people similar stories. A lot of people even worse than me. They've been married, messed up marriages, things like that. And I say this to it helps to talk about it. Want other people to know if they've gone through similar things, you're not alone. But B, for my people who might have just started drinking and are thinking, I wonder if I have a problem. Dude, these things can happen. These things can happen. Some people can drink all the time. None of this stuff happens. Some of us, though, we drink. This is the type of stuff that can happen. If you're starting to see some of this stuff start to happen in your life, might be time to cut back or cut it completely out. Because these things happen. And a lot of times I talk about mine because I want y'all to know. A lot of times people try to hide it. Oh, yeah, I had a little drinking thing for a while. I'm good now. Nah, I want people to know, like, you can mess your life up for years to come. For years to come with this drinking stuff. So if you think you might have a problem, it's okay to quit. It's okay to quit. Who cares what people say? Oh, you're a wuss. Real men drink. A woman's supposed to have a glass of wine every night. Whatever people say, whatever your friends say to you. Don't ruin your life because of peer pressure. If you've identified, hey, I need to ease up on this drinking, ease up on it. Because, some of this stuff never goes away. You live with this stuff the rest of your life. I'm going to turn my air on real quick. Get a little AC going. Hold on. What was that, number 4? Let's go easy one for number 5. Let's go easy one. Number 5, we're going to talk about sleep. This is one everybody can get. Everybody can understand. Drinking messed up my sleep for years. Drinking messed up my sleep for years. I wasn't getting the right amount of sleep. You don't get the right amount of sleep, you're irritable. You get sick easier. You don't enjoy life as much. Your brain's not as sharp. For years and years and years, drinking messed with my sleep. And you wonder why other things are happening to you. You wonder why other things can't get right in your life. You ain't sleeping right because you're drinking. You're staying up till, I'm staying up till 1 in the morning, passing out. I'd wake back up at 3 because I was dehydrated. Have to go get some water. Couldn't fall back asleep till 4. Then I got to be up at like 6 for work. Years and years and years and years and years. I would love to see. I wish I could go to like an alternate dimension / universe and like see what my life would have been like if I had like got the right amount of sleep for all those years. You ever like had a really good nap and when you woke up from it, like an ideal hit you? Just like a life-changing ideal or just like a brilliant ideal just out of nowhere? I like to think, I like to ponder on like how many of those good ideals I missed out on in life because I wasn't sleeping right. How much of the problems and the things I went through in life during those time periods were a byproduct of me not sleeping right? It was messing with my sleep. And it was obvious. Messing with my sleep. Hey, Randall, I appreciate that. So you should study to be a psychologist, Tim. You are already so good at helping people. Hey, I appreciate that, Randall. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Randall, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Messing with my sleep. And here's the thing. At the time, I thought that was normal sleep patterns. Who gets 8 hours of sleep? None of my friends did. None of my friends did. The only ones of my friends who got good sleep were the people who were on pills and they were nodding out all day. They got about 15 hours of sleep. They got too much sleep. The rest of us just drinkers, we didn't get no sleep. Sleep was for wussies. I won't say the real word. Kids watching. We didn't get no sleep. Always tired. But you just thought that was part of the game. That's the price you pay if you try to be a partier like us. You pride yourself on that type of stuff. You pride yourself on being tired, getting back up, going right back to it. Saturday morning, you got 3 hours of sleep. You wake up, get right back to it, drinking again. Blah. Like, you pride yourself on that. In hindsight, just to sleep, I think my life, once again, I love my life right now. I feel so blessed that I'm able to have the life I have, even after all the crazy stuff I did with drinking. But sometimes I wonder, drinking hadn't been there, where would I be? I might be loving my life even more. You got to get your sleep. Got to get your sleep. Yeah, and the hangovers, I'll slide in with sleep. Like, We don't even have to really talk about hangovers. I think everybody, I don't know anybody who likes hangovers. And you drink, you get them. I honestly, that's the only good thing that comes from hangovers is like I have to be really, really, really sick these days to like care, because I was hungover so much. Literally, I was hungover at least twice a week, which may not seem like much, but like that's crazy. At least twice every week, if not 3 or 4 times every week, hungover. And I would get bad hangovers, like lay in bed even in the beginning, lay in bed all morning hangovers. And the longer I drank, the worse they got. I started getting I would be sick all day. Sick all day. I would have to make myself get up around noon, go get something to eat. It was torture. Getting up, because I never keep food in the house. It was torture getting up, going to get something to eat. I'd eat it. I'd feel sick. I'd lay back down. You know, I'd eat a little more in a couple hours. Around about 6 p.m., I might start feeling okay. Around about 8 p.m., I was good. Whole day wasted. Sick all day. As soon as I got to feeling better, I would usually start drinking again. Same thing happened the next day. I mean, that's how crazy it is. That's how crazy it is. Back when I was having one-day hangovers, I'd be sick all day, laying in there like, man, this is horrible. And then I would do the same thing that night. As soon as I got to feeling better, a lot of times I would do the same thing again. My whole weekend gone. For 10 hours of fun, 5 one night, 5 the next night, if that, 4 hours a night, 5 hours a night, for 8 to 10 hours of fun, I missed out on my whole weekend before I knew it. I was back to work. Craziness. Craziness. And all that laying in bed wasn't no good sleep. But yes, that was in the beginning. The one-day hangovers were good. That was in the beginning. Then we started getting those 2-day hangovers. You party Friday night, you're not better till like Sunday afternoon. We started getting those. And that was around the time I started being like, I can't do this. WebR, appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. WebR, Super Chat Squad. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's around the time when I really start being like, it's not, you know, a day hangover you can kind of justify. It doesn't make sense, but you can kind of justify it. A 3-day hangover, 2-day hangover, I drink on Friday, I'm not right. Sunday afternoon, and that's what like when people really started to like say it to me as well. Other people started to be like, "You're still sick from Friday? Maybe you should stop drinking on Fridays." Like, you know, your boys want to hang out. You know, somebody call you, they give you Saturday because Tim will probably be hungover Saturday. They call Sunday, what's up? I'm like, I'm still sick. They're like, what? You know, and I just think back on all the days I missed. All the days I missed hungover. All the days I missed out, all the fun with my friends and the things I could have done. I'm like, if I was sleeping properly, got all my sleep and had all my days, where would my mind be now? Hey, Johnny Reedy, did I say that correctly? Appreciate that. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. I appreciate that, since I can relate to a lot of messed up. Something just hit my hood. Something just landed on my ceiling. Anyway, I'm sorry. Something literally just landed. The wind is blowing like crazy out here. It says, can relate to a lot of the messed up relationship due to booze. Feel at 38 now that dating is nearly a new experience due to not being drinking messed up. 2 rehabs later, sober 2 years now. Hey, John, that's awesome about the sobriety. That's awesome. That's awesome. You did what you had to do. Went to rehab, 2 years sober. That is so awesome. Hey, I get you. I feel you on that comment. Yeah, dating, they like, and it's hard to admit. You know, I'm 41. You're 38. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to admit because you want to. Yeah, you should know what dating is about. You know, it's new to me. Yeah, it's new. So I get you on that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I get you on that. Like, I'm having to learn this stuff all over doing it sober. It's crazy, but we can do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm curious as to what landed on my car. Like, I'm not getting out there though. The wind's blowing too much. But yeah, I just wonder if I if I could get all those days back, if I had been sleeping properly, like, where would I be in life? I'm like, if I love my life now, I'd be loving my life like crazy if I had all that back. But, you know, It's price you pay. Price you pay. What were we on? Number 5. Let's move on to number 6. This is a good one. This is a fun one. Trouble with the law. I feel blessed. I did not have a lot of trouble with the law. Did go to jail one night because I was drunk. I did go to jail one night because I was drunk. We had went to some buddies of mine that came to town. I was living in Gainesville. We went to a house party of one of my old roommates. We got kicked out of that because we started drinking early. When me and my friends start drinking early, you know, it's not good. One of the guys who lived in the house had this really hot girlfriend, and we kept trying to hit on her, and he was trying to tell us not to. And then we were like, what are you going to do about it? It was one of those type of like real macho drunks that night. Got kicked out, went downtown. We were already amped because of that situation. So we was just causing trouble all around. But of course, I was worst of them all. I think everybody else kind of calmed down. I stayed in that mode. All my friends were just like, we're not dealing with you. I walked away, cussing, throwing stuff. Cops were called, ended up in jail. Not a big deal. They let me go to the next day, or, released them on recognizance or whatever. Had to come back to court a month later or so. Ended up having to pay. What is it? Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I know what it was. There's a slap on. There's a thing on my car. If y'all watch my car wash video, the piece that flew off my car, it was that again. Okay. Ended up, getting a deferred prosecution. I just had to pay some fines. Not a big deal. But, it did pop up for a while after that when people did background checks. So they'd be like, you ever had a felony? Ever had, whatever? I'd always say no. And then they call and be like, yeah, but you got an arrest on your record. And I have to be like, oh, I was drunk downtown, blah, blah, blah. I could have got it expunged, but I'm not paying I wouldn't give them any more money. It did make me get sober for like 8 months. It did make me get sober for like 8 months, which was cool. But then for some reason, I guess because I realized I wasn't going to have to go to jail, because I was shook in the beginning. I was like, I'm not going to jail. I did one night in jail. Everybody's like, Tim, they're not going to put you back in jail for being drunk downtown. But I was like, who knows? But once I paid all the fines, I still was kind of sober. I was sober for a while after that. And then one day I was like, I want to drink. I started drinking again. Wish I never had. But like, that still sucks. That still sucks. But also just when I look back at how often I used to drive drunk, and could have got a DUI, could have gotten a lot of legal trouble, could have harmed somebody. Just, there was lots of times I got pulled over by the cops. They let me go. I lived in a small town. It was a good old boy system. They knew me. They saw me at work. They know I was a hard worker. They would let me go. But like, when I just think about, but all the time, there was so many times when like, we almost got in trouble and the cops let us go, and the stress of that. And when I think about a lot of my friends who didn't always get let go and got arrested and got locked up, and I know of like a 16-year-old kid who on like his 16th birthday they had a big party. He was drinking. His granddad let him take his truck to go pick up one of his friends. 16th birthday. I think he might have just got his license or something. Hey, take my truck. It's your birthday. Go pick your friend up. On the way to pick his friend up, he ran into an elderly gentleman in a car with his granddaughter, killed both of them. That kid's going to be in jail for who knows how long. That was one of the things that really made me stop driving drunk, because I was like, dang, I wasn't scared to get in a DUI. I should have been. I wasn't scared to get in a DUI, whatever. But like killing somebody, I'm like, ooh, that's prison. But I mean, yeah, those are the things, those are the situations you put yourself in, possibly, when you're drinking. Now, some people drink, they don't drive drunk. I get it. A lot of people do, though. But I know for me, like every weekend, if I wasn't driving, one of my friends was, every weekend we was putting ourselves potentially in jail. Trouble with the law. So this is one that didn't totally like ruin my life. But it did mess it up that one time. But I know a lot of people who did, because of drinking, ruin their life, get in trouble with the law. Like I said, I should have had like 3 or 4 DUIs. I should have. So many times I got pulled over. And they let me go. Tim, go straight home. They also used to call me to come pick my friends up when they got pulled over drunk. Tell them, come pick this dude up. He's drunk. You know, there's one of my favorite stories. There was a right down the road from the bar on, like, it was either Christmas Eve or New Year's, probably Christmas Eve. There was they had a rule in the small town I lived in. They wouldn't like have a roadblock within like a mile of the bar. But as soon as that mile was up, they'd have a roadblock. So everybody knew. So you would try to figure out which way to go home so you wouldn't run into the roadblock once you got a mile down the road. So this Christmas Eve or whatever, I went the wrong way. I was like, nah, they're going to be on the main road. I'm going to take the back road. Nope, they was on the back road. So, you know, at a roadblock, you know, there's a line of cars. You wait. They check one car. It goes. You go up. You know, by the time I got to the front and it was my turn and they waved me up, I was so drunk, I thought they were waving me through. This is how drunk I was. I'd sat in this line the whole time waiting. The whole time waiting. And I seen all the cars in front of me. They'd wave them up. They'd pull up. They'd stop. They'd give them their information. I was so drunk, when it got to be my turn, they said, come on. I just drove straight through. Gassed it. Bomb. Drove straight through. They're like, what are you doing? They literally had to like run me down. I'm looking in my rear. I don't know why I stopped. I guess I saw them. They were yelling and stuff. I'm surprised they didn't just keep going. But I finally stopped. And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I thought y'all told me to go. They had to know I was drunk. They had to know I was wasted. I just rode through like, come on. They could smell it on my breath, I'm sure. But they let me go. You know, they checked my stuff and they're like, all right, your paperwork's in order. Go ahead. I feel like it was one of those nights they just didn't want to like arrest nobody. And like I said, it was a small town, good old boy system. The people they knew got away with a lot of stuff. They knew me. But yeah, it's just like so many instances where I feel so blessed that like stuff like that didn't happen. But those are the things I think about now that definitely keep me from ever drinking again. Because I know now, after all like that, those near misses and those escapes, and there was other times. Other times I got pulled over, got tickets. They could have given me a DUI. They just gave me like a seatbelt ticket or something. You know, just so many times. So many times they just let me go. I know now that if the universe, God, the source was good enough to let me get through all of those times, if I ever drink again, I'm going down hard. I just know it. I know it. Like if I ever drink again and get behind the wheel of a car, I will get pulled over within 5 minutes. I already know. I got away too often. You know, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna push it. But yeah, it was just, you open yourself up to so much trouble with the law. You start drinking. It's crazy. It's better to just stop. Moving on. What was that? Number 6. Do I have 10 on here? Oh yeah, let's go. Here's a good one. Number 7. Eating habits. This is one that's held over too. You know, who knows me knows I don't eat right. I just don't like to eat. And I think this is a byproduct of years and years and years and years and years of not eating right. Like you train your body a certain way. And this is why addiction's so hard, because you've trained your body to be addicted to a substance and you try to get rid of it. Your body's like, nope, we're trained to want that. I think I trained myself to have bad eating habits. You know, there wasn't a lot. There was so many nights. There was no dinner. Liquid dinner. I get off work, start drinking. I'm not eating dinner. So I would go from like noon until maybe like 10 o'clock that night, eating nothing. And when I did eat something, it was just like leftovers in the fridge or something. We'd go next door to my buddy Ray's house, and we would just raid his fridge a lot of times. That was the only time we ate good, when we ate Ray's leftovers. But if I'm just in my own fridge, I'm eating cold pizza or something. Next morning I wake up, I'm hungover. I'm not eating until probably noon. Doing the same thing. You know, like, so I would go days with only like 2 meals. No, I'm sober now. I would go days with only like 2 meals. Just my eating habits were horrible. And they still, to some extent, are. And I kind of blame that on the fact that for so long, I just wasn't eating right. It's little stuff like that, like the sleep and the eating. These are the ones that fall through the cracks and you don't think about. A lot of times we think about the big stuff. But even this little stuff is messing our lives up, is slowly ruining our lives. And this little stuff is the reason why the big things are happening. This little stuff, like not eating right, is why I'm getting so drunk later on and turning into angry drunk Tim, because there's nothing in my stomach. Not sleeping right is why I'm turning into angry drunk Tim, because like I'm not relaxed at night. I'm not sleeping. I'm on edge all day. Once I start drinking, it's the little things. But yeah, my eating habits, horrible, horrible eating habits. Still deal with that today. And I think some of that is a byproduct. I just trained my body to not like eat a lot. I got a hyper metabolism anyway. I would always be skinny no matter what. But sometimes I wonder if your boy had been eating 3 square a day for that 15 plus years that I was drinking every day, where would we be? We might be able to hit 160 pounds. We might have been able to hit 163 pounds. But yeah, your eating habits, man. You are what you eat. So if you're not eating anything, what are you? Oh, I like that. You are what you eat. So if you're not eating right, you're not eating nothing. If you're drinking your lunch and dinner, we laughed about it. Liquid dinner around here. You so wrapped up in drinking, you can't stop and grab dinner? You can't have a burrito? Grab a sub from Subway? Nope. Eating habits. That was number 7. Number 8. This is about blackouts, but memory. This is a big one. This is a big one. Drinking and alcohol definitely messed my life up, ruined my life in some ways, screw my memory up. You once you black out, you don't get that back. And I had so many blackout nights. So many blackout nights. So many things I've done, don't remember. So many things I so many hours of evenings, I have no clue what happened. It's been many years now, so it doesn't bother me as much. But at the time, I was scared all the time. I would just wake up at home. My car is parked crossways in the driveway. My pants are off. And I'm just like laying on the kitchen floor. What the WTF? There's been times I woke up and I had bruises and bite marks on, just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I know for a fact. I know for a fact because they haven't said it, but women have said things to let me know like we had sex and I didn't remember it. That's embarrassing. Like that, yeah, like it's too much of an ego blow for them to say it. So they're not gonna be like, you don't remember having sex with me? But they would like, I could tell by the way they was acting next time I saw them. I was like, something's different here. And then they would say or tell other people. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I had sex with her. I don't remember it. But how do you ask that? That's bad. That's bad. That's some of the friendships that got ruined. Because like, oh, Tim was so drunk he slept with me and don't even remember it. He don't even acknowledge, or worse, they think I just don't acknowledge it. Like, damn, like he just won't even admit the moment we shared. Come on, like just stuff like it, man. I'm so glad like that stuff was behind me, man. Because I was always in fear the cops was gonna come beating on my door because I did something stupid. Like I would go downtown, not remember coming home. Last thing, like I would have flashes of the night. Like I'd go downtown, get up with some of my friends, or sometimes get up with some people that like I didn't really know. I would remember like meeting people, and then I remember like getting angry, and then I would wake up at home. So now I'm like, can I even go back to that bar? That was a lot of times I'm like, I would be scared to go back to places because I'm like, I don't remember what I did. There's been times I walked in the door and the bouncers was like, get out of here before we kick your ass. You remember what you did last weekend? Like that's happened so many times. Just the memory, that's not good. You should not be losing your memory on a weekly basis. You should not forget what you did last night. Like, oh, what's the ultimate embarrassment? One of the ultimate embarrassments? When your friends call you the next day and want to talk about last night, or like it'd be something like sometimes, we'd all crash. We go to somebody's house, we party, we crash out. They'd wake up the next morning and I'd be hungover, but like I would kind of get up and they'd want to talk about the night before and I didn't remember any of it. Oh, remember that one girl? I'm like, I don't know. They're like, Tim, it literally happened 5 hours ago. I was like, I don't remember. They're like, what is wrong with you? Like, that's the ultimate embarrassment. When you can't talk about something, it's 8 in the morning and you can't talk about something that happened at 1 in the morning because you don't remember it. You don't even remember it. I'm like, nah. They was like, hey, what was the name of that place we went to? I'm like, I don't even remember where we went. What? I don't even remember getting home. Like, it was just, like, it's crazy when the people you drink with start looking at you like there's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, when the people you drink with start being like, when the people who drink as much as you start looking at you like, bro, you might, they start like hinting about AA and stuff. Hey, there's a meeting. My uncle goes to this meeting. He don't really talk about it, but I'm pretty sure it's AA. Hey, Dustin, Super Chat Squad. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Says, don't know how long you've been streaming, but I just got home. Great stream topic. We've been going for like 45 minutes. Hey, I appreciate that, Dustin. Thank you so much. Super Chat Squad in the building. Yeah, I'm glad you liked the stream topic. I really wanted to, this is a big one for me. So I want to talk about it. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Super Chat Squad, I appreciate the support. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dustin. Yeah, man, it just screwed up my memory. And that's why, like I said, you don't get those memories back. It's not like if you drink a lot of water, what happened last Thursday comes back. No, it's gone. It's gone, and you never get that back. So, like, yeah, back in those days, I was always, whenever a cop went past me, I was always scared that I did something one night drunk, blacked out, didn't remember. Always. I remember one day, I was partying downtown, and I vaguely remember me and some of these guys did get into it with we went to some house, and they were like, I don't know what it was, but we got into it. And I remember I ended up just like wandering around downtown, I don't know, and a cop kind of messed with me that night. I remember a cop kind of messed with me, but because of what happened at that house, I'm pretty sure, but she couldn't prove I was there. I think they called the cops on us, said they were trying to start stuff. She couldn't prove I was there, but I don't really remember the whole interaction with the cop. Long story short, the next day at work, she saw me, or it might have been 2 days later. She saw me, and I was lugging a pressure washer from one of our properties to another property. I did property maintenance. I did the grounds, so I had to pressure wash like a sidewalk or something. That's good busy work. Pressure wash a sidewalk, take you all afternoon. You're not really doing much, It looks great though. When the boss drives by, it looks great. So I was lugging the pressure washer somewhere to waste an afternoon pressure washing a sidewalk, and the cop pulled me over. Was like, "Where are you going?" She pulled up beside me. Excuse me. I'm like, I'm at work. I'm about to go pressure wash. She was like, "Oh, so you work down here?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Let me see your ID." So I showed her my ID and stuff again. And she's like, "Who do you work for?" And I told her, and she was like, "Oh, I think she called up there. And they were like, "Yeah, Tim works for us." And like, I couldn't tell anybody at the job that the reason she harassed me was because she had like saw me downtown causing trouble a couple nights ago. I was just like, I don't know what the, and good thing too, she was a black cop. So no one thought it was racial or nothing, but like, they were like, "Why is she bothering you?" I'm just like, but I couldn't be like, cause she knew I was up to no good 2 nights ago. She definitely didn't think I worked for one of the biggest property management companies in this area, or the biggest. She didn't think I had a job. She thought I stole that pressure washer. But that might go back to our one about trouble with the law. But yeah, I mean, I was so scared because I didn't remember exactly what happened that night. And when I saw her, I was like, oh snap, she's come to get me. Fortunately, I guess they didn't have nothing on me. I still don't know what we might have done, but just when you don't know what happens, it's a horrible feeling to wake up and not know what you did the night before. Horrible feeling. I don't miss that at all. Anyway, so screwed up my memory drinking. You don't get the memories back. You got to ask yourself, what else is happening up there? If it's erasing your memory, what else is it doing? If alcohol is erasing your memory, like what else is it doing? What else is erased? You don't even remember what it erased because it's erasing your memory as well. Okay, moving on. We're getting down to the bottom. Number 9, number 10 are kind of close, but number 9, like it ruined my mental state. You're just not in a good space mentally when you're drinking all the time. You're not. A lot of times we drink to overcome social anxiety, but we end up being way more anxious in the end. Messes up your mental state. You get anxious, you get depressed. Just it not good for your mentals at all. And then what do? Once we get anxious, get depressed, we drink more to try to overcome it. We get this ideal in our head because alcohol momentarily, because a lot of times alcohol momentarily makes us feel better or forget about what we're going through. We get this ideal that like we have to have it to function. I'm too depressed, I'm too anxious, I have to drink or I can't deal with it. The day has to come in life when you're like, okay, I'm gonna have to learn to deal with stuff sober. That's the differentiating line for a lot of people. Is that some people finally get to the place where they're like, you know what? I'm gonna have to learn to deal with this stuff sober. And some people sadly never get there. And that's not dissing those people. But like some people is just some people will never realize that alcohol is not a crutch. Alcohol does not help you. Alcohol does not help you. It just makes it worse. It becomes a vicious cycle. One day you just gotta stop. One day you just gotta stop. Or it's up to you. If you want to get better, if you want to get better and you want to take your life back and you want to get your mental state back and your health back and your sleep back and sometimes your mate back, one day you just gotta be like, you know what? And here's the thing though. Here's the thing. You can face it sober. Let's put that out there. You can face it sober. It's hard, especially when you've been having the crutch of alcohol for years, but you can face it sober. There's 8 billion people on this planet. So out of that 8 billion people on this planet, there's billions of people who face their problems sober every day. Billions of people who, when a problem comes, they face it head on. They don't have to reach for alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, whatever. No addiction, no vice. There's billions that do, but there's billions that don't. And if you want to take your life back, one day you just got to be like, you know what? Yeah, this is going to really, really, really suck, but I got to do this. I got to do this because I don't want to run from every problem. I don't want to run to the bottle every time I have a problem because you'll never stop because there's always problems in life. Got to get to the point where you're like, you know what? I'm handling this straight up. It's not always easy. It's not always easy. It's not fun. But once you do it, like, honestly, I think problems, I won't say problems it gets easier, but like it almost kind of does. Because when you drink to try to solve problems, it just usually makes it worse, and you still have to try to solve it. It doesn't make it go away. When you face it sober, you don't have that extra baggage of like the alcohol and stuff to deal with when you're trying to solve the problem. You know, if drinking made problems go away, and if you were a drunk, you had a problem-free life, I'd say get drunk every day. I'd be drinking right now. We would not be drinking Powerade. This would be something strong. But it doesn't make the problems go away. Usually it makes them worse. Or it just pushes the day when you have to deal with them down the line. By that time, you might have a fresh problem. Now you got 2 problems. Jeez! It is easier to just like deal with problems as they come. Sober. All right, now we're coming to our 10th point. Our 10th point. And this kind of ties in with some of the other ones. A lot of these kind of tie in. Our 10th point, the 10th way that drinking alcohol ruined my life. I think it stunted my growth emotionally. This kind of ties in with the one about relationships, not know how to do them. I honestly think that I would have done a lot more growing as a person if I had been sober all those years. I know. You know, I think we did okay, but I know drinking stunted my like emotional growth in so many ways. There's a part of me that's still stuck back at like 25. I'll admit it. There's a part of me because so many years were like a blur. So many years I didn't face my problems and do the growing and the learning and gleaning from my experiences for so many years. There's like a gap. You know, there's like a gap. Like you're supposed to grow emotionally and in general, like at a certain level. If you're always drunk and you're not dealing with your emotions, you miss there's a gap. Like it's true. Like I just feel like I should be older emotionally. And I know it's because all those years I was like stuck at like 18, stuck at like 20. doing the same things. Not facing the world, facing my life, not learning from the things that were happening. Instead of learning from my experiences and growing, I would just get drunker. I'd just get drunk. Instead of facing the world, I was facing the beer cans. You know what I mean? Like, and I honestly believe I'd be a lot further along in my emotional growth. I think we're good now. We're getting better. These last 3 years of sobriety and the year and a half before that is we've made some good strides. But I can look a lot of times and be like, there's a deficiency there. You know, there's something's. I'm not where a lot of my peers are emotionally sometimes. And I realize, oh, it's because that's probably part of the reason all my friends now are like 20 in their 20s, like 20, like 30 or under. Very few friends my same age, because I don't relate to them. Part of that is because, yeah, they have kids and mortgages and they're all, you know, but like part of that is I honestly think I relate to younger people because I'm not emotionally 41 yet. And that's not the easiest thing to admit, especially to 113 people. But I definitely think, yeah, it stunted my emotional growth, and that's not cool. None of these things on this list are cool. Yeah, I had a cheat sheet today, because I wanted to get this out. I wanted to get this right. None of these things are cool. Health issues, ruining relationships, friendships, you know, messing up jobs, trouble with the law. None of it's cool. But like when you like really messing with like your mentals and your, you know, we talked about mental health, yeah, but your emotional, like I just. Like it's not, you know, looking at this list and realizing all of these things, I'm like, what was I doing? I think this is the first time I ever wrote down all these things and really thought about it. I think this is the first time I ever really sat and thought about how much drinking messed up my life. And like I say, I feel so blessed to have gotten through it and be living the life I'm living now. So blessed. But sometimes I do stop and think and be like, imagine how great my life would be if I hadn't been drinking for all them years. If I made all them mistakes and messed myself up all these ways and still have a good life. Imagine what life would be looking like if we hadn't done all that. So, my reason, and I appreciate so many people tuning in, my reason for wanting to do this stream is to tell other people who are going through it or went through it, you're not alone. I love sharing my stories. I feel like a lot of times we don't, which I get. If you don't feel like sharing your story, I get it. It's your business, it's your story. It's personal. But also for people who, mainly for people who might have recently identified or are wondering, do I have a problem with alcohol? Do I need to cut back? Should I quit? I want people to know what it can do. Because a lot of times your friends will be like, stop being a wuss, just drink. You know, the world likes to tell you everybody drinks. And a lot of people do. But there's a lot of people who don't drink. Some people just don't like the taste of alcohol. Some people don't drink because they've identified it does all this to you. There is no list. We could, some people would come up with a list of the good things alcohol does and drinking does for you. It's not a real list though. Everything on that list would be perceived. Oh, it makes me better around people. No, see, here's the thing. Alcohol can make it easier to be around people. But all that witty and funny stuff you say when you're drunk was already inside of you. Alcohol just made it to where you didn't worry as much and you weren't as socially anxious. It just lowered your inhibitions. That's it. But all that stuff inside of you was already inside of you. That's what I'm saying. Like, alcohol doesn't really do anything. You could get to the place sober where you're less socially anxious. All the stuff that you think alcohol does for you is you. The alcohol just makes it easier for it to come out. But you can get to that place on your own, sober. You ain't got to spend all that money. I forgot to wasted so much money. I forgot to put how much money. I didn't even put that on the list. I didn't even blew all my money. I guess that one didn't spring to mind because even at my height of drinking, I still had money. I've always managed money. But for a lot of people, that's a big one. Broke. I just put number 11. We're just going to put broke. Some people just get broke. So yeah, just want, and whenever someone says, because I do, it's cool. I get messages. People say, hey, here's my situation. Do you think I should cut back or quit? I'm always like, yes. If you have to ask the question, do you think I should cut back? The answer, I think, is yes. If you're ever worried you're drinking too much, you are. If you ever are worried that you might be drinking too much, you are. Because the fact that it's even bothering you shows it's too much. The fact that it's even bothering you shows it's too much. So that's why I'm like, hey, it's a personal thing for people, whether you cut back, whether you quit, whether you keep drinking, whatever. But I'm always like, if it's even bothering you at all, stop. Stop. Hey, folks, well, I got you here real quick. If you want to, you don't have to. If you haven't smashed the like button, tap the like button, lightly caress the like button. If you could do that for your boy, really like to get over 100 likes. Just hit an hour. If we could get 1 hour in, 100 likes, that would be awesome. Really helps out with my new best friend, the YouTube algorithm. Really helps out. And like I said, hey, I appreciate it, man. The numbers are up this one. The numbers are up. I'm loving it. Well, there we go. 102. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Smash it, rub it, kick it. Don't mess up your smartphone. I appreciate that doing that. Y'all doing that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's all I had. That ends the portion of me just talking. Now we're gonna get back to our regularly scheduled program. And we're just gonna, I'm gonna start reading the comments now. If you got questions, definitely if you got any sobriety stuff you want to talk about, maybe you mentioned it earlier, I didn't see it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'd love for this to be, a sobriety stream. We can talk about other stuff too, but I'm loving the, the sobriety talk. Sobriety talk, because a lot of times, you don't get a lot of this. You don't get a lot of this. Mark was spending $450 a month on booze. Yeah, man, that's rent. Some places that's a car note. That's a new car. That's the thing. Like when you add up the amount per month over X amount of years, and you're like, man, I could have bought so-and-so with that. I could have bought so-and-so with that. Like, that's what's crazy. Nick, I don't doubt that some of the dehydration stuff I go through now comes from all that drinking. I can believe that. Yeah, the dehydration is horrible. Like, and I still suffer from like dry. I'm just like overly dry. That's very personal. But I'm just always like overly dry. I'm always, and my skin is always, and I think it's from all that drinking. I think so. Rito, I don't know how long it takes the brain. I don't think the brain totally ever recovers from alcohol abuse. I don't think it ever fully recovers. I don't think it ever fully recovers. I mean, if you were putting in a lot of work drinking, if you drank for a year, okay, maybe it will, but you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years in the game. I don't know if the brain ever fully recovers from that. I mean, how would you ever know that your brain recovered? I mean, I think it can get better, but I don't think it fully, like stuff like those memories you lose, those never come back. So like if there's portions of your brain that are like wiped clean, that, you know what I mean? Like, do you ever really recover? Hey, search one. Hey, yeah, like I said, I'm glad you said you're tempted, but you're not gonna do it. That's cool. Like when you can admit, like, hey, I'm probably gonna be tempted, but I'm not gonna do it. That's cool. That's cool. Because you're not out here being like, oh, I won't even be tempted. But yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. 2 years sober on June 3rd. That's awesome. That's a milestone. Yeah, just that's the thing too. Like, and once you can get it in your head that like there's no special occasion worth drinking, because that's just programming. The reason we think we need to drink on our birthdays is programming. People told us our whole life to drink on your birthday. Once you realize like, oh, I don't need to do that. Yeah, once you have a couple birthdays and don't drink, you're like, oh, I'm fine. Hey, HBO Kid, no problem, no problem. Glad you like the stream. Hey, Nick M, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Super Chat Squad, I appreciate the support, Nick M. Thank you so much. SF says Dr. Amin does brain scans. He shows a lot of recovery can take place if you quit alcohol, start taking vitamins while eating a healthy diet. I agree. I would agree with that. I think you can recover to a certain extent, which is great for me. Like I hope I have recovered some of my lost brain cells. I just don't think you ever fully recover, but I think you can, get better and do some brain recovery, get some brain cells back, get some stuff back. But I just don't know if you can ever get it all back. I hope you can. I'd love to. Yeah, Marco, I think the past year and a half or so, the amount of addiction levels just went through the roof. I mean, you make people sit at home and then you give them money. Your vices are gonna get that money first. your vices are gonna get that money first. So yeah. Hey, Jeff Mills, that's awesome. Day one. That's awesome, Jeff. That's awesome. Keep it going. I always say day one is like the easiest hard day, or do I say the hardest easy day? It's one of the easiest days, but one of the hardest days. Because like usually on day one, you've got a reason to quit. Like you did something stupid yesterday. And you're just like, I'm quitting today. I'm quitting. So it's easy. But it's also hard because you drank yesterday. so you still have that intense craving. So like day one is a hard one. It's the easiest hard day or hardest easy day. I don't know. But you see, like it's kind of, it can be rough. Some people never get to day one. So winning, walking the line, said drinking got me arrested, made me lose friends, starved sometime for days, lost all my money on alcohol, led to other substances, and a dent in my emotional growth. Yes, all of that, all the things. Like it's crazy. Something can do that to us, and we keep doing it. If a person did that to us, well, I don't know. We all know some people in toxic relationships. So, but for most, like on paper, it seems crazy. When I'm looking at, where do I put my paper? When I'm looking at this, I'm like, what was I doing all them years? Like all this, and I just kept doing it. Like it's crazy when you look at it on paper. Chris, how's it going? Tom said, how do I overcome anxiety and fear after relapse after 1 year of sobriety? The anxiety and fear of relapsing again? Is that kind of the question? Like, here's the thing with like fear. Fear is one of those things that like, I don't think sometimes our wording is weird, but like, I think the thing with fear is you just have to face it and not give in. I know that's not like, may not be the best answer, but like, like it's facing the fear and not giving in is kind of the answer. I don't think there's really anything anyone can tell you to help you overcome fear. I think it's just a matter of like knowing you have to. If this sobriety thing is the thing you want to do, then you're just going to have to face the fear, face the anxiety, still do what you need to do. The good thing is you had that 1 year of sobriety. So you know what to do. That's why I'm always saying relapsing is part of the process. Because I think it takes some of the pressure away. Because a lot of times, yes, like we'll go, dude, I've been there. 1 year and a half, relapse, 3 months. A lot of times we get very worried, like, man, I had a year in and then I relapsed. I made it a year and then it reeled me back in. Will I ever be through with this? Like, what's going to happen next time? Am I going to get a year in, have to go through all this again? That's why I'm always like, relapsing is part of the process. Sometimes it happens. I personally think that, like a lot of things in life, something bad might happen, but we needed to learn something. So I think sometimes we relapse because there was something else we needed to add to like our sobriety equation that we didn't have in there yet. Some other ingredient in our sobriety recipe. Something that made us go back and relapse. Now we know, like, oh, if this happens, I might relapse. So when it happens again, might not relapse this time. So I think, like, just knowing, like, you could be sober for a year, you know what to do, and just realizing, like, you just got to do it again. And know this time you're probably stronger because hopefully you learned something from the last relapse. And that might just be what you needed to go forever, you know? Yeah, sorry to hear that, man, with the mic. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I had an uncle who drank himself to death too. So, like, I get it, man. I get it. Hey, me for word. Appreciate that. Yeah, we preaching. We preaching. Hey, grab it. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's yeah. Hey, I'm glad. If any of my content could help you get sober, stop thinking about alcohol. Hey, that's high praise. That's why we do it. That's why we do it. That's awesome. Yeah, Randall. I got a whole video about the boredom. That's a hard one. You know, that was my biggest fear. I was like, everything I do, I drink. Everything I do for fun, I drink. How am I going to have any fun if I can't drink? But once again, it was one of those things that, unfortunately for me, I was just getting so sick. It just wasn't even fun to drink anymore. So I'm like, yeah, I drink to have fun, but it's not even fun no more. Or it's fun for an hour, then I start getting sick, or it's not fun the whole next 2 days. So that was one of the things. I'm kind of glad I started getting so sick, because I was like, okay, even if, like, sitting here and watching Netflix or hanging out with my friends is boring because I'm sober, at least I'm not going to be sick. It's not. It sucks either way. I'm like, if it's going to suck either way, I might as well go with this sobriety thing and, like, at least not be sick. You know, but yeah, the boredom is hard. That's why I think it's, important to replace drinking with some other activity that takes your mind off drinking, if possible. H2O kid, you're right. You're right. That clarity you get. I remember that first time I quit for 8 months, my mind just got so clear. I just started realizing things I'd never realized. I was like, I told one of my friends, my buddy Roosevelt, shout out to Big Ro. I was like, dude, I'm coming up with thoughts I never came up with. Because, like, yeah, once you start drinking young, 18, 19, 20, you get to, like, 25. This goes back to what we were saying about stunning your emotional growth thing, your mental state. Those are the years where, like, you grow a lot, from 18 to, like, 25. So I think I was 25, 26 when I quit for 8 months. There were just a lot of things that the average 18 to 25-year-old had already thought of and seen. I hadn't even thought of because I was drunk all the time. So all that stuff started hitting me. After about 6 months, my brain got super clear, and I was just like, I remember just, like, sitting in my room, just thoughts in my head. I'm like, bro, like, I'm a genius now. Then I went back drinking, which was a problem. Should have never done that. But, well, I'm way behind on these comments. Sorry, folks. Hey, Grant Willis, appreciate that. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Grant Willis, I appreciate that. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Says, Tim, I love what you said about quitting and relapsing being like hiking. You can slip and fall, but that doesn't mean you're not still on the path. Exactly. Hiking is one of my favorite analogies for so much in life, Graham. But yeah, that's definitely one. It seems like a very visually, like, very visual analogy that you can get. It's just like, yeah, if I'm hiking up the mountain and I stumble, and maybe I even tumble down a little bit, I'm still on the trail. All I have to do is pick myself up. I may have to limp along for a little bit, get my ankle back right, then I'm going. Just because you fall doesn't mean you're off the trail. Like they can't take your progress from you. I think a lot of times when we relapse, we think all our progress is done. Because this is another reason why I'm not totally big on counting the days. But we look at it as progressing like this. If you relapse, you go back to the beginning. It's no. You're going up the trail, you stumble a little bit, you keep going. The goal is sobriety. Every day you don't drink pushes you closer to that goal. We don't see it that way. A lot of times we're like, oh, I relapsed, I'm back at zero. No, you're still on the trail. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, make sure, your bear spray didn't fall out your backpack, you still got your water, check yourself, keep going. It happens. And I'm a big believer that sometimes there's things we needed to learn. Something made you, me, whoever relapse. Something happened. Now, if you can identify what it was, if that trigger, that whatever happens again, you might see it coming. Oh, that's what had me relapse last time. Not doing it. Not going to get me this time. Sometimes you got to learn, different things. I'm trying to, I'm behind on these comments, but I don't want to really be missing them. Heidi, what's up, what's up, what's up? SF, no problem, no problem. Trying to get on these comments. Yeah, exactly, Jess. Yeah, a lot of times when we're drinking, instead of, trying to heal and focus on the important things in our future, it just we start making worse decisions. We start off broken like this much, and then the substances we use to try to heal ends up breaking us this much. It's crazy. But I mean, I get it. Trust me, I get it. That's not me laughing at you. I'm laughing at me. I'm right there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, when you look back at it, it's just like, wow. But that just shows you how powerful, like, the programming that we should drink, the peer pressure, it shows you how powerful all that is. Because drinking makes no sense. If everybody around you wasn't telling you to drink, if you haven't seen since the first time your eyeballs opened and you looked at television and movies, seeing people drink every time they came, television, somebody comes home, has a stressful day. Oh, I need a drink. Television, somebody has a great day. Oh, I need a drink. That sticks in your head. Society wants us to think that a lot of the bad decisions we make are totally us. No, a lot of that stuff comes from programming, because since the time you were 0.01 days old, you've been taking in programming telling you to drink. Basically, everybody drinks, everybody drinks, everybody drinks. You're like, hey, wait, I'm part of everybody. I guess I need to drink too. That's the part about drinking that gets me. Is the fact that we're like programmed to do it. Seattle, people who try to pressure me to drink, which I feel grateful I don't have a lot in my life. Honestly, I think some of them you just got to cut off, at least for a while, or for good. But if you're trying to get sober and you got someone in your life, even if they helped you when you were down, might be your ace boom coon, your boy, your girl, whatever. If they're trying to pressure you to drink, and I would have the conversation with them. Like, I would have the conversation with them. I'd be like, hey, like, we're friends to the end. You've done so much for me. That love is there. I'm trying to do the sobriety thing. And if you can't understand that, I'm gonna have to fall back for a little bit. If you can't understand that, like, it's a problem for me, if you keep trying to make me drink, I'm gonna have to fall back. It's gonna hurt me. I know it'll probably hurt you, but like, I got to do this. I got to do this. I would have the conversation, and if they're just like, oh man, you just being like, well then, you won't always be able to stay friends with everybody in life. Sometimes, and like I said, you might get, a year sober under your belt or something and be able to hang out with that person again. They like, take a drink, and you're just like, whatever. But this might be a time where you just have to tell them, like, I appreciate that you care about me, but I'm gonna need you to care about this too, because this is what I'm doing now. Hey, Scott Kelly, that's awesome. 9.5 months. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, graffiti. I definitely think, like, I think there's a billion ways of sobriety. Some people might need some psych meds. I mean, if you got some mental things going on, yeah, you might need some medications. That might be the real issue. Drinking might just be like a byproduct of that. Some people definitely gonna need rehab. Some people might, have to go to the hospital because I knew a guy who said his doctor told him, don't ever try to quit drinking on your own. You will die. You need to have doctor supervision. You need to be hooked up to whatever you need to be hooked up to. So there's so many different ways that, like, we can get sober. So many different things we can use to get sober. Everybody's different. Everybody's sobriety journey is different. That's why I'm all about sobriety motivation. I don't think you'll ever really hear me I talk about how I did it. but you'll never really hear me be like, this is how you, some people do. Some people are like, this is how everybody should get sober. I'm just like, hey, you can get sober. You can get sober. And you know yourself better than anyone else. You can figure out trial and error what you need to do to get sober, how you need to get sober, what your path, your journey is going to look like. But I'm never going to like judge how anyone gets sober. I just know we all can do it. Cygnus, now like me to relax now, I like to do a lot of walking, a lot of hiking. My thing is like when I get like super anxious, I'm on my whole like let me think through this stuff. I love the fact that I no longer cloud my brain up and can't think about stuff. I want to think through it. Maybe that's just me. I've always been a thinker, but like I like the fact that now like when things really get to me, a lot of times I'll go for a walk. Like if I really need to think about something, I'll go for a walk. But I want to get in there and like experience it and feel it, think about it, figure it out. I don't like the fact that like, you know, before I used to, at the time I did. At the time, I don't want to deal with it, I drink. But you can get to a place where like you appreciate the fact that like when you have a problem, you have to solve it. You're not kicking the can down the road. You're not medicating, you know, over it. You're not suppressing it. You know, and here's the thing, like, and this is, I think this is important. Sometimes in life, we have to realize that, like, things happen. You'll get anxious. You'll get depressed. You'll get sad. You'll get down. You'll get heartbroken. That doesn't mean you have to drink. That doesn't mean you have to get high. A lot of times people are like, man, I'm so depressed. What can I do but drink? Things happen. And sometimes in life, we have to get to the point where we put our big boy and our big girl pants on and our big boy and big girl skirts on or whatever. And we just realize, okay, in life, things happen and you just got to face them sometimes. This is what life threw in my path. I got to face it. But a lot of times and once again, this goes back to programming. We think that, oh, when certain things happen, I have to find a way to deal with it. No. You are strong enough to deal with it with no extra substance in your body. You're strong enough to deal with whatever you're going through, just eating food, drinking water. Now, if you need some extra help, well, that's what friends are for. That's what families are for. That's what parents are for. That's what therapists are for. But a lot of this stuff that we feel like we have to have some type of extra substance in our body to deal with, we can deal with on our own. Billions of people on the planet doing it. Just my thoughts on that. Hey, Linda Tube, I appreciate you saying that. You never had blackouts? Wow. Hey, lucky. I like that, Jose. Being sober allows me to take a step back and allow others to stay wrong. Facts. Facts. Walking the line said what helped her is getting out in nature, doing adult coloring books. Oh, nice, nice. I never understood adult coloring books, but I never colored as a kid. I get nature, though. I get nature. Marco, yeah, I definitely think you can have a drinking problem if you only drink on weekends. It's not about when you drink. A lot of times it's not even about the amount you drink. It's the fact that you don't do well with alcohol. That's why I like to use the analogy of like the peanut allergy. If I'm allergic to peanuts, it don't matter if I eat peanuts on Monday or Saturday. I'm allergic to peanuts. I don't need nuts. Same with like if your body just does not react well with alcohol. That like I like in my mind, I'm allergic to alcohol. When I drink it, crazy stuff happens. Bad stuff happens. It doesn't matter if I just do it on the weekends, if I just do it on Tuesdays, if I just do it on Monday mornings every third Monday. I'm allergic to alcohol. You're allergic to peanuts. Whenever you eat a peanut, something bad's prone to happen. So yeah, I don't think it's the days, it's the frequency. It's just the fact that if you've identified, oh, I think I got a problem, then cut back or quit. I say quit, but I mean, Kristen, how's it going? How's it going? Hey, Flubber, I would eat, hey, Slurping a big gulp. You're happy? Man, jealous. Hey, more flair than Rick's son. Hey, as long as you starting back, man. As long as you starting back. And now you've identified, okay, when she come around, might be a problem. Next time she comes around, I know it might make me want to drink, you know? So, yeah, you know, just get back up, start hiking up the hill again. Diane, how's it going? How's it going? I see you, Kristen. Hey, Jim O'Brien. That's awesome. That's awesome. 3+ months now. Nice. Took a lot of evening walks the first month. Nice. I'm glad to see it's slowly getting easier. Glad to hear that. You know, that's one of the things that, you know, I love when other people, you know, put that in the chat, put in the comments. I say it a lot. Like, it gets easier. Because, yeah, one of the big reasons why a lot of times we don't want to even try to get sober is because it seems so hard. And it is hard. You try for 2 days, you're like, man, this is crazy. I ain't gonna live like this the rest of my life. But it's good to know, like, it's not that hard indefinitely. It gets easier. Yeah, Nate, people will argue that. Oh, people have always drunk. That doesn't make it right. People have always killed each other. People have always murdered each other. That doesn't make it right either, but that's a good point. Kicking behinds. Nice. 30 days sober. That's awesome. Keep it going. Long John Silver checking in. Ray checking in. Yeah, Jim K. Don't go in the liquor store for extra items. Travel down the road to the 7-Eleven. Yeah. Claire, you're a deep thinker. Also, nice. Richard checking in. Sorry I'm so behind on these comments. Jose, I don't know. Maybe, I really don't know anything about milk thistle and other vitamins. I hope some of them do. That'd be great. Sorry it took me so long to block that person. I'm behind on the comments. Yeah, I am gold. Yeah, I'm with you on that. You know, being drunk or sleep. Yeah, you know, you can't really deal with stuff in that state. Yeah. Yeah, graffiti sitting with that pain. Sometimes you gotta sit with the pain. You know, and that's the way I think you get through it. But a lot of times we don't want to sit with it. We just want to like suppress it. That's not working through it, you know? Hey, Seattle, thank you. I appreciate that. Seattle T Grind said, thank you for these daily live streams, sending positive energy from Seattle. I appreciate that. Super Chat Squad. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Seattle. Thank you. Love. Thank you. Wesley, like my friends knew, because most of my friends drank with me, so they knew. And like I said earlier, when they started, because they were, you know, drink as much as me, a lot of them, when they started being like, Tim, you know, you see them sometimes don't invite you to certain places. I got a buddy didn't invite me to his wedding, and I knew him and like his wife and like his wife's dad. Like I knew 3 people in this mix didn't get invited because they know I got there and got drunk. When you see your friends start to be like, maybe, and they're drinking just as much as you, but they're not acting as crazy as you. When your friends start to tell you got a problem, So like my friends knew. My parents, I don't know if I ever really told them. I think they kind of knew something was up because like one time my mom had to take me to the hospital when I got alcohol poisoning. I couldn't get, I would stand up and fall right back down. That kind of craziness. So I think they kind of knew. But I don't think I mean, it would just seem like to my mom, like once every year, there'd be a crazy Tim story. You know, I called her one day and was like, hey, I need $200 to get my car out of the pound, get my car out of the impound. Pound is for animals. The impound's for cars. Because I was drunk and I ran it off the road into a ditch and they towed it because I ran away because I couldn't stick around because I was drunk. you know, so every like once a year there'd be a crazy Tim drunk story. So I don't think she knew the extent of it. I was talking to my dad recently and kind of telling him stuff, and he's like, I think he definitely didn't know. So I kind of, you know, I didn't really see my parents much, so I think they didn't know the extent of it. So I don't think I really told them till like later. Hey, more flair. I appreciate that. More light and life to you as well. Thank you. Thank you. Central Texan, Gabriella, both sober. Nice. Aaron, hey, I appreciate saying that. Yeah, we definitely gonna keep up the positivity. Definitely gonna keep up the positivity. Deadly Raver, hey, I appreciate that. Super Chat Squad, I appreciate that. Thank you. Says, hey, yo, the liquid demon tried to get to me too. Here's to us who survived the demon's grasp. For real. Pat on the back to all of us who made it. All of us who working on making it now. You know, yeah, man. Yeah, it's probably the thing I'm most proud of in my life. You know, like and since I don't a lot of times think about sobriety, like you know when you get to that place where it's just like what you do and who you are, I don't think about it a lot. So sometimes I'll have to stop and like be like, bro, that was a big deal. Like you struggled, you went through it. Like it was not easy. Lots of relapsing. You know what I mean? But it's one of the things I'm most proud of in life. You know, that's why I'm always like trying to. I want other people to feel that too. Yeah, redo that alcohol poisoning was, yeah, man, that's no fun. That's no fun. I literally stood up, would fall down, but I couldn't, like I was so just jittery, I couldn't lay still. So I tried to get up again. And I mean, it was bad. It was bad. Woo! Twice had alcohol poisoning. It's no joke. Hey, man, you know, what was on my list? Health. Ruining your health. Carol said, parents may not speak of it, but they always know. Yeah, I think my parents, you know, I don't think they knew the extent of it. I think they were probably like, yeah, Tim drinks a lot. Sure might be drinking, you know, but I don't think they knew the extent of it. But maybe they did. Maybe they did. You know? Maybe they just kind of were falling back and, you know, let me do my thing. I'm not sure. Have I ever seen myself drunk? Yeah, I mean, we used to always, me and my friends were the first people to bring, you know, before phones had cameras, we were the first ones to bring like digital cameras in the club. We were the first ones to bring like the little digital cameras in the club. So we were always getting footage of ourselves drunk. Yeah, man, that was I think that's what part of the reason like I started getting on like YouTube was because like for so long, me and my friends have been like filming each other and putting the videos on MySpace and Facebook. So yeah, I see myself drunk. Not like they wouldn't film like the bad drunk, but I've seen myself drunk. I've heard a ton of drunk voicemails. That's the most embarrassing for me. Like the drunk voicemails. Those are the things that always got me. You know, and you know, I had female friends who loved to play back the drunk voicemails. You know how many times you told me you loved me last night? Oh, and they play them. Oh, I'm like, stop. You know, I was drunk. They was like, what you say drunk, you mean? I'm like, not really. Because I don't love you 8 times, like I said there. I like you. We have fun. No shade, but I don't. They're like, oh, you said it. Yeah. The drunk voicemails used to always get me. Oh, you always get me. Central, I think I definitely did, and maybe that's because my life was a little different too. But I started doing like more before when I was drinking and stuff. I didn't hike. I didn't do any naturey stuff, you know. So a lot of that came after I got sober. Just wanting to be outside, enjoy nature. Because before when I had free time, I was drinking, I was partying. So yeah, I definitely started hiking, being out in nature more, appreciating the outdoors more, as opposed to always being inside getting drunk. Hey, Deadly Raver said everybody can beat the demon. It's definitely worth it. I agree. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. I know very few people who'd say it's not. I know people who like got sober for a while and relapsed and are still struggling, but they'll be like, oh, sobriety's definitely worth it. I may not be living sober right now, but it's worth it. Like, you know. Kaylin said, what was the day you woke up and said, okay, no more drinking? Because 9 times out of 10 you were hungover. So you didn't get the monkey off your back. What? Oh, I see what you're saying. It was just one day I was just you know, I think I was like super sick. And it's weird. Both times the year and a half when I relapsed and this last time, the year and a half I was sober, and this last leg of sobriety. Both times when I started, I was staying with my buddy Ray Ray. So I think there's something like spiritual there in his presence both times when I got sober. But I think like both times it was just bad nights. You know, I was feeling sick anyway. And when I get drunk and I'm around other people, I do the same, you know, so like Ray and his family his people's always family to me. And so I think I'd said something embarrassing to his girlfriend at the time. You know, a couple of days before, I think I'd peed in his son's bed because I was sleeping in the kid's room. I had peed in the bed and I had to like flip the mattress and like clandestinely wash all my clothes and just stuff like that. Stuff like that. Just embarrassing. I'm friggin' 30-something years old, peeing in beds and like flipping mattresses, and was getting sick. And I was just like, not doing it. Not doing it. I'm done. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. It stopped being fun. And the same thing happened, you know, this last time when I got, you know, I relapsed for a little bit, got sober again. Same thing. Same stuff. I was getting sick. It was not fun. I was being rude to Ray's family. You know, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, MKG. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think, yeah, you got to get to a point where you're just like, and that's one thing I told myself one time. I was like, either Tim, you're going to go down that road and be like, I'm a drunk. This is what I do, and accept everything that comes with that, or you're going to stop. And for a while there, I was like, well, I accept it. You know, I was like, my uncle drunk himself to death. I'm going to drink myself to death. Screw it. I'm a drunk. Let's go. For a while, I accepted it, but there was just a part of me that could not fully accept it. And I kept telling myself that. I was like, Tim, you either got to accept it, everything that comes with it. You got to say the angriness, the fighting, you know, the ruining relationships, the all that. You got to say all that is you. You can't go around and be like, oh, that's not me. I was drunk. I was like, you're going to have to admit all that is you, or you have to quit. And that could not be me. I was like, I can't be that person. I just couldn't. So yeah, I think you have to get to the point where just like, I can't take it. It's not worth it. I'm not doing it. Hey, Lil Mo. Oh, hey, I feel you. 41, 24-year-old girlfriend. Okay. Had to walk away though. She's participating in the drinking arena a lot. Hey, it happens. It happens. It happens. Congratulations on the 12 years clean and sober, by the way. Hey, and on having the strength to walk away from a situation because you can't take it. You know, a lot of people, you know, just sit there and take it and it brings them down. So that's props to you, Lil Mo, to have the strength to be like, nah, I'm not doing it. Rito, yeah, I totally go to Switzerland. Hey, Deadly Raver, thank you. I appreciate that. Super Cat Squad, the double whammy, the coveted double whammy. Says, folks, when I used to drink heavily, I was always broke. I don't even make more money now, and I barely spend half of that. I'm just saying, yeah, man, that's a big one. Thank you so much, Deadly Raver. Super Chat Squad. The money's a big one. The money is a big one. Like, you just find yourself having more money. So I ain't making no more money. I just got, the end of the week rolls around, you got cash. You looking crazy. How do I still got $100? It's Friday. It's Thursday. I always budgeted my money. Well, not budgeted, but like, I guess you could say budgeted. But I didn't really have a budget. But I always, you know, I was good up until like Thursday night. I mean, I always had money in the bank, but like my cash on hand would last me to about Thursday night. It was rare I made it to payday and still had money in my wallet. That was rare. I mean, I had money in the bank, always save money, But you know, my you know, and I always bought enough food usually to eat all week. But yeah, by Thursday we was always broke. You know, Friday got paid, we back at the bar. You know, you stop drinking, you have money all the time. Where's this money coming from? And I remember I'd always be like, oh, this is how regular people buy stuff, because they're not blowing money on alcohol. Oh, okay, I get it. King Clark, what's up, what's up, what's up? Carol said, I'm glad there's no cell phones when I was out there being crazy. Facts, facts, yeah. Oh, Jose, you dream it. Yeah, yeah, that's crazy, because the body, the brain is going to try to make you drink. So if it can't make you do it awake, it's going to try to slide it in there when you sleep. It's going to try to slide it in there any way it can. The brain is going to do anything it can. The subconscious is going to do anything it can to tell you to drink, because it thinks you want it to tell you that. Because for so many years, that's what you wanted it to tell you. That's the message you gave it. Oh, remind me to drink this evening because I love drinking. So now that you're not drinking, it's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm telling this dude to drink, he ain't drinking. Let me slide it in his dreams. The brain is crazy, man. The brain is crazy. Yeah, H2O Kid, that's a good point. You feel like a badass while you're drinking. You feel very macho. You feel like it's the thing to do, but you're slowly ruining your life. As we went over in our earlier, slowly ruining your life. All the things happening, ruining your life, slowly killing yourself, but you feel like a man. Feel like a woman. Feel like you're doing the right thing. You're doing what everyone should be doing. No, you're not. You're poisoning yourself. Oh, at your frat in Seattle, you had 2 kids die from drinking? That's crazy. That's crazy. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, H2O Kid, I'm with you. Glad it's over. You know what I mean? That's why, like, even on the bad days, I feel so blessed. I ain't dealing with that no more. You know what I mean? Like, even on the bad days, I'm using air quotes because, like, I don't think there's bad days. There's days that things happen that don't make me happy, but they're not bad days. Even on the days where I'm kind of like, ugh, I'm not going through that no more. You know, I just feel blessed. Feel so blessed. Feel so blessed. Jacqueline, you just joined. I could run down the 10 things real quick. I could run down the 10 things real quick for the people who just got in the chat. 1 was health. You're ruining your health drinking. 2 was work. A lot of times you mess up jobs. You mess up your work situation because you're hungover or your performance isn't what it should be. You're drinking on the job, things like that. You end up getting fired, you know. Number 3 was friendships. Mess up a lot of friendships. You know, people like me who get drunk and do crazy stuff, people stop wanting to hang out with you. Number 4 was relationships. Kind of the same thing. You know, you you start doing crazy stuff. People don't want to be with you. You get drunk and cheat. People don't want to be with you. When I finish this stream, you can be able to play it back, and I'll go in the description box and put all these in there. If you're watching the stream tomorrow or sometime, and you want to know what the things were, they'll be in the description box. Number 5 was sleep. That's one a lot of people talk about. Your sleep is horrible when you drink it. Going to bed late, waking up early because you're dehydrated. Lay in bed all day, but you're hungover. You don't really sleep. Number 6, trouble with the law. Getting arrested, DUIs, getting in fights, getting arrested, you know. Number 7 is your eating habits. I know for me, maybe this isn't everyone, but horrible eating habits. And I think I've kind of programmed my body to this day to kind of eat that way. Not good. Not good. Number 8, memory. Blackouts, memory loss. Your brain is literally like getting wiped clean because you're drinking so much. That's not good. Number 9, your mental state. You know, a lot of that is because, you know, of all these other things we already listed, it just screws up your mental state, and you're not sober long enough to like fix it. It takes time to fix your mental state and a clear head. And number 10, it's stunted my emotional growth. You know, I honestly feel like there's so many, it's like so many years I missed because I was drunk all the time. And I just wasn't going through the things I needed to go through. I wasn't learning from the things I was going through. Like, I just feel like it stunted my emotional growth. Yes, that's a 10. That's a 10. We went about an hour in detail in the beginning of the stream. So yeah, feel free to run it back. Good stream. JDS says same thing with ecstasy. I can believe that. I can believe that. I feel like most drugs, same thing. Hey, Jacqueline, hey, no problem, no problem. You're welcome. See you later, JDS. Yeah, man, it's just, yeah, when you look at it like that, appreciate you saying that, Smooches. When you look at it, you're just like, wow, I was doing all of that to my body? All of that, like every day, every night? You know, at the time, you don't think about it. Because a lot of those things you just think are part of the game. Especially when you're young, you're partying, you're hanging out. For me, that was just part of the game. And some of that stuff I prided myself on. You know, you like identify whatever group you're in, even if it's negative stuff happening. I'm like, oh, I'm a drunk. This is what we do. We get hangovers. We power through it. We start by drinking later that day. Yeah, I don't get a lot of sleep. I'm out in them streets. I'm partying. Like, you pride yourself on a lot of this stuff. But you're really just ruining your life and messing your body up. It's crazy. Yes, Angela, you got to experience that darkness to appreciate the light, to fully appreciate the light. That is true. That is true. Bio Jewel, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. So happy. So happy to be sober. What is it, going on like 3 years? Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. HO Kid, you're absolutely right. There's no return on investment with drinking. You get nothing good out of it. All the stuff that you think you're getting out of it is already within you. Like, alcohol can't, it just pulls out what's in you. It's not giving you anything. Yeah, Central Texan. Yeah, alcohol's a depressant. If you try to drink your problems away, you're just going to make yourself more depressed. It's a cycle. I drink because I'm depressed. I'm depressed because I drink. It's just a cycle. And it never stops until one day you stop and be like, all right, I got to figure this depression out sober with a clear head. JDS, that's awesome. Only got 2 bills. Nice. Nice. Awesome. I remember back when I only had, phone bill and health insurance. The good old days. I was living in employee housing. They took that right on my check. All I had was, what, $50 health insurance, $50. I had $100 in bills. Whoo! Good old days. We don't have many more. We don't have many more than that now. But, you know, we got to be billed now. You know, we got to be billed now. We got. Yeah, man, this has been a good stream. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm still tripping on the list myself, and I wrote it. I'm tripping on the list myself, and I wrote it. I'm like, what were you doing, Timothy? What were you going through? Derek, exactly. Minimalist lifestyle. Minimalist. You know what? I sometimes I wonder if I never become a minimalist, would I've ever gotten sober? Because becoming a minimalist allowed me to start traveling, and I think there was just, I don't know. Once again, like I said, every time I got sober, I'm at Ray Ray's house. If I hadn't started traveling, I would have never been able to like spend months hanging out with him. Might have never got sober. So minimalism led to me traveling. Traveling put me in places that made it easier for me to get sober. All this stuff goes together. Hey, Ank's Vision. Thank you. I appreciate that. Super Chat Squad. Appreciate that. Says you're the Bob Tim. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Chris, exactly. Chris 15, 2218. Yeah, you drink to deal with social situations, but then drinking leads to your most embarrassing social situations. Life's a lot better when you just, one day just decide to face whatever's coming at you. Whatever's coming at me, I'm gonna face it sober, because then you don't have to, like, if you drink to solve problems, every time you have a problem, you're gonna want to drink. That's no good. But if you can get to a place where you're like, I can solve these problems on my own, then you don't have to keep wanting to drink. I have kind of noticed that, Seattle. Yes. Yes, I have noticed that people get more attracted to your energy when you're sober. I have noticed that. I think because people know the real you is coming out. People know that energy is all you. It's not tainted by some substance, like it's you. And I think people are naturally just attracted to that. Spiritual Lorenzo, how's it going? Will do, Raz. Will do, Raz. Oh, that might have been it right there. There it is. Hold on. I think that was it. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Raz. I appreciate that. Thank you. Cash App Squad. Cash App Squad. I appreciate that. Charlene, I said your name. Sorry, I didn't mean to say your name. Sorry. I try to use people's names on here. Raz, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Deadly Raver, Super Chat Squad. With another one, the trifecta. Says, also nightmares. Do you want to end up getting chased by some knife-wielding, big booty bikini chick with a bloody rabbit head? I'm just saying. I gotta be honest, Deadly Raver. That's kind of hot. No, I'm just what's this all big booty? I was like, rabbit head, knife, whatever. It's been a while for me. Whatever. No, I'm joking. Appreciate that. Super Chat Squad. I never had nightmares, but I've heard a lot of people say they do. They did, yeah. Let me read that again. Big booty bikini chick, bloody rabbit head. Is she wearing the rabbit? No, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm being stupid. I don't. None of my friends would be like, dude, you're no fun now. But the last time I really tried to like hang out with a group of friends up here drinking, it just wasn't the same. And they kept asking me what was wrong with me. They kept be like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I just don't drink." And they was like, "Okay." But yeah, last time I tried to hang out, it just didn't work. So no one was like, "Damn." No one said to my face, "Damn, you're no fun." But I'm sure when they got home, they was like, "Tim is totally different drunk." I mean, sober. Like Tim is totally different sober. You know, so, but I think they respected it, but I think they realized like, yeah, you ain't gonna get the same Tim sober. I'm like awkward, socially awkward sometimes sober. And these were around people that I always used to party with all the time. We used to tear it down. And I was just sitting in the room like, because I don't know what to do sober if it's like a party. Like I can go to the bar with my friends and like, I can just sit at the bar and like drink my Dr. Pepper and people watch. But at like a party, what do you do? What do you do, you know? True Gemini, what's up? I've been good. Blessed. How about you? Yeah, it was just, for me, even I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to do this again. Which kind of sucks, because they were my friends. And I was actually like having fun. Awkwardly. I was chilling. You know? I was watching them party, do whatever. Some cuties there, you know, but like I just, my vibe, people kept coming up to me and be like, "You all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do this no more because it's killing my vibe. Like, you know, it's killing my fun every time someone asks, because I realize it. If they just let me sit there, I'd be like, "Oh, okay." But everybody, I was like, man, I'm throwing everybody else's vibe off because I'm different now. Okay, so she was wearing the rabbit head. Okay. Oh, that might be a deal breaker. That might be a deal breaker. Rabbit head in the back. Okay. Cecilia, what's up? Digital drinking a little Dr. Pepper, a little DP as well. Yeah, that's my go-to drink at the bar. But like these days, even too many Dr. Peppers has my stomach in a tizzy. So I have to remind myself to like drink a Dr. Pepper, drink a water, I have to chase Dr. Peppers. This is what I'm talking about with your body. You start getting old. I have to chase Dr. Peppers because my stomach could. A lot of this stuff's the holdovers from drinking. I know it. Yeah, true Gemini. It's a lot better to try to party sober. Not as fun. Let's be honest. Be real. Not as fun, but better. So how do I don't understand your question, Cecilia. How do you like live? Or is it how do you like live? I don't understand. I want to answer, but I'm kind of don't understand what you're asking me. Randall likes Perrier. Okay, fancy. I'll show you how I give it up on the water tip. Gas station water. Holiday. It's holiday. Holiday spring water. 2 for $2.50. Jose watching the sport sober. Yes. Yeah, Michelle, there's always the option of finding friends who do healthy stuff, you know, or like for me, like the friends I have now, they drink, but not a lot, you know. And honestly, my buddy Mike, he's been on the channel before. He just stopped drinking recently, you know. So yeah, a lot of the friends I got now, yeah, they even the ones who do drink don't drink a lot, and even some of them have like cut back and stopped. So that's cool. Well, that's true. Yeah. I can't say that for everybody. True Gemini. I know for me, partying sober is not as fun. That's not like, you know, an argument to tell people they should get drunk. But I know for me, partying sober is not as fun. It's cool. But we used to be off the fun meter. If Tim was getting drunk, oh, it was off the fun meter. So for me, it's not as fun. That's why I always say the highs aren't as high, but the lows aren't as low. So I'll take that. I'll take not as fun because it's also not as like depressing the next day. I'll take that. Oh, how do you like the live? I think there's a thumbs up button somewhere, Cecilia. Yeah, I never played drinking games. I thought drinking games were pointless. I had one drinking game. Who's going home with Tim? That was that was my drinking game. Who am I carrying home tonight? That was the only drinking game I was trying to play. Beer pong, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, anyway, sorry. Do me. That's the hard. Those are those initial hard cravings. Those are those initial hard cravings. And this is why I say it's always this is why I try to break down to people who never really had a problem with drinking. Why it's so hard for people to quit? Because you are literally fighting against yourself. You are literally fighting against yourself. Part of you wants to drink badly, the other part doesn't. Most things in life, you're fighting against something outside of you. Or if one part of you, if you say I don't want to do that, you just don't do it. Addiction is hard. When you over here, like, I definitely don't want to drink. I got all these reasons why I don't want to drink. And then another part of you, which is also you, says, no, we want to drink, crank up the cravings. That's why it's like so hard to quit. And honestly, the answer is you have to get yourself to a place where you don't give into the cravings. And it's kind of hard because the next question will be, well, how do you get yourself to that place? There's you know, that's why I always say I do sobriety motivation and tell people they can do it, because everybody has to figure out for themselves how to get to that place. But that's the $1 million question. Like, how do I get myself to that place where I don't give in? I know for me, like I said, I was just getting so sick that I started just pondering on that. Yeah, you really want to drink right now, but do you want to be super sick tomorrow? And I've said many times, I don't know if I hadn't been, I'm so blessed I was getting sick, because if I hadn't got that sick, I don't know. But I do think for everyone, the time does come when there's something that can help them overcome the craving. Because the day has to come when you're just like, yes, I really, 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 really want to drink right now, but I'm not going to drink. At the end of the day, nobody can make you take that drink. So if you can find something to think on or something to do to keep your hand from going on that bottle or that can and turning it and opening it and drinking it, if you can keep yourself from doing that, you're fine. Even if everything in you says drink, if you got to put handcuffs on and sit on your hands, if you can find something to do to keep you from making that motion, it doesn't matter what the cravings are. You know, you don't have to get rid of the cravings. You just have to not give in to the cravings. Very hard to do, but possible. Ooh, Hector, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that about your buddy. Hey, Deadly Raver coming through again. Appreciate that. Super Chat Squad. I appreciate that, Deadly Raver. Said also withdrawal. Folks, when I finally started to resist, everything made me want to drink. I beg you ought to be very careful in those first months. Yeah. Some people go through withdrawal so heavy. Thank you again, Deadly Raver. Some people go through withdrawal so heavy like they need medical supervision. But yeah, that's crazy too. Like you're fighting against your subconscious, you're fighting against your actual body sometimes. Your body's like, drink, drink, drink. Your subconscious is like, drink, drink, drink. And you're the only voice in the wilderness being like, we don't want to drink. It's hard, man. It's hard. Doable, but hard. Sleep, Grandma. I'm always real. I'm always real. So I'm gonna give this to you. I'm gonna answer your question about sober sex. And this is probably gonna, there's probably somebody, watching right now who's thinking about give me a piece. They're gonna hear this and not want to give me one now, but I'll risk that for y'all. One of the issues for me was, like I was saying earlier about certain parts of my emotional growth being stunted. One of the things for me was from the age of like, I think I lost my virginity at 19. Yes, I lost my virginity late. Judge me. I was a Christian. I think I lost my virginity at like 19. So from 19 to 34, 30, 36, pretty much every time I had sex, I was drunk. This is not, I'm not joking here. Pretty much every single time I had sex, I was drunk or buzzing. Like even when I was in relationships, I was always drunk. They were always long distance relationships. So I'd hang out with her on the weekends. I'm getting tipsy. For me, that it all went together. You have a couple drinks, spit a little game, get wasted, have sex. There was very little sober sex for me. So for me, it has been kind of an issue of like having sex sober because I really just don't know how to do it. I do it, but like drunk, I like that. That's what I know. That's 15, you know what I mean? Like that I know. That we put in twerk. Sober, it's a little different because it's like, oh, I'm learning all this over again. I feel like I'm 19 again. Like, where do I put it? Say like, I'll admit. That is one of the things I kind of sucks because I'm like, I put in all this work, all these years, learning all of this, but sober for me is totally different. Now, I do think that if I ever was to get with someone, get in a relationship, consistently have sex with the same person, I could work all that out. And a lot of it might just be in my head. It might just be in my head. But I know like the confidence I had going into the bedroom drunk, I do not have sober. And it's just, I had decade and a half of experience the other way. And now it's just like, this is new. I don't know. That's me. Other people say the opposite. Other people are like, oh man, my sex game is so much better now I'm sober. I'm like, lucky you. But yeah, that's just me. Litter tube. I don't really know how much I was drinking. Once again, I never like. Why would I count how much I was drinking? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you drink until you're broke or you pass out, you know? So I don't really know how much I was drinking. During the week, yeah, I usually would have Busch Light. Like, during the week, especially as I got older, when I got like my 30s, during the week, there really was no issues. I'd go get me my Busch Light. I would drink. I'd eat dinner. I'd drink some more and pass out. You know, in my 20s is when the big problems were. But by the time I got in my 30s, I had messed my body up so much, even like the light drinking sometimes. The light nights could be a problem. And I did start drinking wine, though, in my 30s. So the wine would get me sometimes. But I don't really know. You just, why would I ever count? You just drink, My go-to to avoid drinking? I don't really know, like... I know another thing that took place both times I got sober was that I started working soon after I would leave Ray Ray's. I went to the YMCA of the Rockies, and you can't have beer on the premises there. I went and did a seasonal job, YMCA of the Rockies. So there, I had a ton of friends there. You couldn't have beer on the premises. I just had to find other things to do. So yeah, I'd go eat dinner with my friends sometimes. I'd go hiking. Sometimes we go bowling. I think that played a big part in my sobriety because, like, I always had somebody around, something to do. So I don't think I went out of my way to be like, oh, I don't want to drink. What am I going to do? I think it just happened to, like, in the beginning, I was around my buddy Ray Ray, hanging out with him and his family. I went to the YMCA of the Rockies, hanging out with people. And so I guess I didn't do it like on purpose, but I guess just like hanging out with like people who weren't drinking and not having access to alcohol or ready access to alcohol kind of helped me. Deadly Raven used to tie yourself to a chair, play video games. Hey, do what you got to do. You're funny, Carl. I appreciate you saying that. Your boy's 41. Your boy's 41. I appreciate you saying that, though. If I took the hat off, you saw the hairline, you'd be like, oh. Well, I'm not the only one with the late virginity losses. People who kept their V card late. I feel better. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate that. Hey, Graphic, I will. I don't think PayPal notifies me. I'll check it though. I'll definitely check it. Thank you. I appreciate that. PayPal Squad. PPS. I like that. PPS. Blessed up. Your ex made you start drinking again. She was toxic. Blame game. No one can make you drink. No, I'm just messing with it. Oh, I appreciate that. So you look good for 41. I appreciate that. I take back what I said about the blame game. I don't know. PPS just sounds dirty to me. I'm gonna stop saying that. I'm just gonna say PayPal Squad. PPS sounds dirty. I don't know why. I got a dirty mind. All things are clean to clean people. My mom used to always say that. My mom would always say, all things are clean to clean people. Then I would say something. She'd be like, that's filthy. And I'd be like, all things are, and she'd like, do this. She'd be, before I could finish it. Martin 22 still got the V card. Hey, keep it. I got a buddy who's 29, still a virgin. Proud of him. I'm with you, Graphic. Days seem a lot long. That's another thing. Days seem a lot longer sober. Days seem so much like a week. Like I can remember my first like weekend sober. I'm like, these weekends are long, buddy. It would like in my head, it would feel like it was Sunday night. It was Saturday afternoon. It's Saturday at 3:00. I'm like, when we going to work? 2 whole days of being wide awake? 2 whole days? I never did that. I'm dead serious. For 15, 16, 17 years, I never had 2 full weekend days up. I was hungover one of them days, if not two near the end. I never had 2 weekends unless I was like sick and couldn't drink, but then I was still sick. Every now and then I might have a weekend where I didn't get hungover for some reason. Oh, my battery's dying. Is that better? Are we? Oh, cool. Whew, my battery was dying. Every now and then I might have a weekend I didn't drink or something. But other than that, I guarantee 98% of my weekends I was hungover. So when I started getting sober and having 2 full days, you could stay up Friday night, wake up early Saturday morning, have all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day. Crazy to me. I'm like, these weekends are long. These weekends are long. It was crazy. It blew my mind. People are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what am I supposed to do for 2 whole days? They're like, what did you used to do? I'd be like, lay in bed sick, lay on the couch sick, shoving goodies powder with sleep aid down my throat so I could sleep. It's crazy. I love it though. Yeah, every day seems long now. Yeah, we're still going, Katie. Kyle checking in. How's it going? How's it going? Oh, Jose, you keep a drinking diary? Oh. Kimberly, now it's just, it is what it is. I'm blessed now that like I don't really work at staying sober. I just am sober. You know what I mean? Like it does not enter my mind to drink. There was a couple times in 2020 when I was like, man, the old Tim would have really wanted to get drunk right now. And I was like, nah, not the new Tim. And that was like the most stressful year on record for a lot of us. So yeah, now it doesn't even, it's not me. You know, like people I meet now don't ever know I used, you know what I mean? Like never comes up. It's like, oh, Tim don't drink. Sometimes they're like, oh, you used to drink? I don't even, sometimes like if it's somebody I'm really cool with, I'll be like, yeah, I had to quit. But most people think like I never drank. Like it don't even, I don't even go with that vibe no more. So yeah, I don't even have to, like, I really have to work at it anymore, which is great. Cecilia, you found that thumbs up. Nice. Oh, bio, that's crazy. Burnt your throat, lost your voice. Ugh. Flower Child, how's it going? Thank you. Jose had a drinking diary. I never thought about that. You see that, you know, when I was drinking, that time I was taking to write down what I was drinking would have gotten in the way of my drinking. That's why I play drinking games. Drinking games get in the way of my drinking because I have to wait until something happens to drink. If I'm playing beer pong, I got to wait until the ball goes in the cup to drink. I just want to drink. That was what I was. It was just go till you drink till you can't. That was basically it. If we were hanging out or partying, we drank until we were broke, we ran out of beer, or like the club closed and we all went home. And, you know, and there was nothing, you know, or you blacked out. People are like, why can't you just drink to get a buzz? I'm like, what does that even mean? Why would I do that? At the time, that made sense. Now I'm like, yeah, what were you doing, Tim? Jose said I had to record it. I was getting disgusted. I feel you. I feel you on that. Hey, Joe, that's awesome. 90 days in. Oh, nice. Super clear-headed. Nice. Back to working out. Nice. Yeah. Not waking up to them sketchy texts, being embarrassed, all that. It feels good, man. Life feels good on this sobriety train. Like, life feels good, man. Like, that's awesome. Yeah, I feel you. Like, it's, man, I just think back to those days, man. Like, yeah, just that waking up and like, you know, the first thing you do, reach over and check your phone and be like, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, I remember them days, man. I remember them days. It was not good. Not good. and then you have to go out and get drunk because you're embarrassed about the night before. Yeah, it's a cycle, man. It was a cycle. Yeah, as soon as the beer is gone, the liquor's gone. As soon as the beer and that cheap vodka's gone, everybody leaves. When that last bottle of cheap vodka's gone, everybody leaves. Yeah, Chase. Why would you ever have one beer? Have lots of beer. Bust down a 20 rack. That's the way I used to be. You know. But like, you know, as you know, I said when we went down this list, I paid for being that way. All of these issues, I paid for being that way, you know, but we made it through. Joe, I feel you. Joe, I feel you. Yeah. Miss some of those sketchy women. I feel you. But it's yeah, the drama's better. Like, you can kind of miss something in life, but realize you're not gonna do it again. You know what I mean? Yeah, I always, yeah, I'll look back and be like, how did I go from having women around all the time to now, like, I just be sitting in my room every night? It's funny to me. It's funny. How did I go to just like always just running into just like random women and craziness happening to like now I can't even find one on Tinder? Let's go. You live, you learn. Hey, see you later, Redo. Fox, what's up? Love you too. Yeah, the drinking game's getting the way you're drinking. That's how you know the real drinkers. They wouldn't even try to play no games. Jose, no, my non-alcoholic beer video is uploaded, but it's not public yet. I haven't made it public yet. That's gonna be one that when I have a random hole to fill one day, I didn't make a video. I'll just make it public. But it's uploaded. It's just not public. Chase collects shot glasses. Don't do shots. Hey, cool. Shot glasses are cool. I one time found in the garbage, I think it's in one of my old videos on my old channel, I found, what was it, like a 20 shot glass set of like some sports teams. Sold it for like $50. Oh, could have got more. I used to dumpster dive, find all kinds of goodies. All kinds of goodies. Chris, oh, you had your wisdom tooth taken out today? I actually called the oral surgeon to look into getting mine taken out. And she said, around $1,500. I said, let me call you back. I said, better yet, can you call me back in like a month? Your boy might have the cash. But yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna say something embarrassing in the recovery room. Yeah. I'm afraid too. But I already told my friend Abby she's gonna have to come pick me up. Because I was like, you're the only person I trust to like not record all the craziness I'm gonna say. I know me. Hey, men, I don't really have an opinion. Like, whatever you feel you need to use to defend yourself, you and yours. I don't really have an opinion either way, Deadly Raver said, I learned how much art and technology have improved when I quit drinking. Yeah, some stuff you can't learn. Drunk. You gotta get sober to learn it. Michelle, you did your wisdoms in Mexico? Oh, damn, I need to look into that. I didn't even think about that. I need to look into that. I'll go to Mexico, get my wisdom teeth. If I can go down to Mexico, get my wisdom teeth out, hang out for a week, and come back for cheaper than get my teeth out here, I'll do it. Honestly, the dentist wanted me to get those teeth out, have a deep clean done, then get some fillings. I think I'm just going to have them do the fillings first. Then I'll worry about the wisdom teeth. I think I got some time on the wisdom teeth. I want to get that deep clean too, definitely, but it's $800. But yeah, I think I'm going to just get the fillings done, then get the wisdom teeth done. I think before everyone had to get their wisdom teeth pulled out, they just friggin' left them in there. No, I'm good, John. I'm good. Ho! Katie, 27 grand. I see you, Katie. Money bags. Katie, like $400 a month. That's crazy. Hey, at least you got it done. Yeah, I got a lot of rich friends who, yeah, they're just like, it's a no-brainer to go down to Mexico to get dental work done and other stuff. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Yeah, there's like, yeah, I just go down to Mexico and get my lipo, get my Botox, get my lipo, like, oh, whatever. All the stuff that rich people do, they just go down to Mexico and get it. No-brainer. It's in the rich people book. It ain't in the poor people book. It's in the rich people book. Oh, yeah, just go down to Mexico and get it done cheaper. Then spend a week in Cabo, you know. Angela, if I go to Mexico, I'm flying. If I go to Mexico, it's on Delta. Yeah. Yeah, Chase, that's a bit of a wah. Hey, if you got dental insurance, yeah, and it works, it's a blessing. That's why everybody should have free healthcare, free dental. I don't want to start down that road. It's been a good stream. Nobody got mad. Don't start down that road, Tim. Yeah, I know you're supposed to be, Angela. Yeah, you know me. If I go to Mexico, it's going to be on a Delta flight. There's actually a Delta flight going right there. Or it's a plane. I'm assuming it's Delta. Schlanger, no. This question comes up all the time. I would not drink for $1 billion. No, and I mean that. There is not enough. There is nothing you could give me. There's not an amount of money you could give me to make me drink. There's nothing you can give me to make, like, what do I need $1 billion for? People always ask $1 million. Would you drink for $1 million? What do I need $1 million for? What do I need $1 million for? I'm gonna go back to ruining my life with all of this stuff for $1 million. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Crooked Smile Gang, I definitely don't think money buys you happiness. From my opinion, from my experience, my opinion, money does not buy happiness. No. Yeah. It's funny. For a lot of people, money would change people's minds. That's why I know I wouldn't do it, because I would have to stand up for the group of us who don't do things for money. Anyone who really knows me would know, like, money. If you wanted to try to get Tim to drink again, money wouldn't be the way to do it. I'm stubborn. The way to get Tim to drink again was to have some just the right type of skanky woman try to lure me into it. That I still wouldn't do it, but it would be a harder fight. You get the right type of skanky woman to try to lure me into it. I'd have to be like, I don't drink no, you throw $1 million on the table, it's not, I don't care. Like, you not buying me. No. The Dolphin Man doesn't do what he doesn't want to do. Keep your money. That wouldn't even, nope. Would I stop being a minimalist for $1 billion? Nah. How do you stop being a minimalist? I would just have to, like, go out and buy a bunch of stuff? Nah. What do I need $1 billion for? I'm good. Hey, Joe, I'm honest. I know me. I know my weaknesses. I'm just real. A lot of people don't admit it. I admit it. Good girl come up, drink a beer with me. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Nice scuzzy bucket. I'm like, can't do it, babe. I gotta stick. I want to, but I gotta stick to a Dr. Pepper. Yeesh. Hey, at least I'm honest. Probably shouldn't have put that out into the universe. Now it's gonna happen. Big butt bikini woman with a rabbit head. It'd be hard to turn it down. No, I'm joking. She come up with a bunch of Busch Lights. And she's like, come back to my trailer and we'll drink Busch Light. Heart be still. I'm joking. I still wouldn't do it. But it would be like, I'd be like, man, if you caught me 5 years ago, man, like it could have went down. You know what I mean? You gotta know your weaknesses. You have to know your weaknesses in life. You have to know your strength. A man has to know his limitations. Money, nah. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't care about money like a lot of people. Bush Light was my go-to beer during the week. Yeah, I love me some Bush Light. Damn near water. Get you there though. Yeah, money. It would annoy me. It would probably piss me off. Someone tried to be like, "I'll give you $1 million to do this." Money's not real. It's definitely not real enough for me to like give up one of my values and principles. What am I doing with $1 million? Yeah, Lender, when you write it out like that, it seems crazy. But I know me. Keep your $1 million. What am I doing with $1 million? I know what me and her are gonna do. Yeah, man. You got to know your limitations. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna wrap the stream up. It was a great stream. Really enjoyed it. One of the ones with the biggest numbers I think we've ever had on a stream. As far as people tuned in, we got up to like 115 or something, maybe more than that. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the back and forth we had. I appreciate the Super Chat squad, the Cash App squad, the PayPal squad, all the donation squads. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. I know there's so many other things you could be doing this evening. You spent time with your boy. Let me get my list off my chest. I kind of really need to do that. I love each and every one of y'all. Be safe. Talk to y'all later.